Now, Dyson Heppell is one of the great names in football. I think he's been courageous. The foot injury that he carried through and fought through really affected him. Take us through where he is, because he's one of the last of the big names who are involved in the supplements issue at the Essendon Football Club. Does he decide to cash in and go, or does he stay and take the Bombers to the next level?
You've probably got some further news, but it's always tough. That I think he's going through on a lesser scale than what Buddy Franklin's going through. I think you get to an age where you're probably not as valuable in terms of to your football club for on-field. And I think Dyson Heppell, he was half-back, he struggled, moved to a wing, he's been a little bit better. But, you're not probably as valuable to the team in terms of other players going past. That's where he is of value. He's just been an unbelievable leader. He's a star person, quality person. It looks like it's going to work out for him in Essendon, Karen.
Well, you were very strong on Monday night that you felt that he should stay at Essendon. You'd be really disappointed if he left. My understanding is this mooted 4-year offer from the Gold Coast, which involved 2 years playing, 2 years coaching, was certainly talked about at executive level at the Gold Coast. An offer was never made, and sitting here tonight, I don't reckon it will be. I don't think that offer will be made. I don't think the Dyson Heppell will.
I have a different view. I think he needs to leave. He needs to freshen up. Everything he's been through there, it's been incredibly stressful. He's been beaten up for his leadership. I don't think everyone's called him a great leader. I think it gives a fresh start.
Is it a fresh start or superannuation?
You go to the Gold Coast. I think if you're good enough to perform, you go to the Gold Coast, they're on the up. I'm not convinced on Essendon. And get a fresh start in your footy and invigorate yourself and see the best of Dyson Heppell, because we haven't been seeing it.
Just quickly, we forgot there's a review happening at Essendon. What's going on with that?
Well, the review's been done. Depending on who you talk to, there was never a review. There was a review.
Well, there was, so yeah.
There was a review.
Talk to us.
Look, there will be changes. The coach is safe. Ben Rutten will remain. There will be movement beneath Ben Rutten. I think Mark Robinson mentioned Mark Williams today as someone who might come in. I'm told there are still real problems there, Matthew. We know that Xavier Campbell is still under the pump. I gather there has been not a fallout, but there is some genuine tension between Adrian Dodoro, long-time recruiter, list manager, etc., and the head of footy in Josh Marnie, which is disappointing. I'm not sure where Blake Caracella is going to be next year, but he also has a rock-solid 2 years left, a very highly paid rock-solid contract, but he will definitely be in a different role next year if he's there.
When you say fallout between Dodoro and...
I said tension.
Oh, tension.
No, well, that's
tension. Over, just give us some context over...
Lack of support for each other?
Right. The only thing I've heard is that they'll bolster and support Ben Rutten with another coach. But and what makes you say Xavier Campbell? Under the pump, what does that mean? For his job or...?
I think Essendon needs to have a good year next year. I know he's just signed a new contract. I understand that, and I like Xavier Campbell. I'm a supporter of Xavier Campbell. I thought their personal attacks on him earlier this year were really unfair. But, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, he was Gillan McLaughlin's man most likely. Well, there are now 4 or 5 CEOs ahead of him for the top job at the AFL, and I just think that his performance as CEO, particularly where the footy's been concerned, has been pretty woeful. He's made some, the decisions haven't worked out for him.
That's all big news.
Worked out.